Okay. Anytime, YouTube. YouTube, hello. Oh, there we go. Okay, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudcast number 318, the one problem with superhero costumes. Now, oh boy, let's see this guy. He is Nerdstalgic. We covered a video of his before, I think a week or two ago. Very popular YouTuber, has almost 850k subs, and this video came out a few days ago, June the 18th. Has almost 210,000 views. So he knows what he's doing, and this is not even a 10-minute video, so it won't take that long to go through. I'm assuming there's going to be some advertising and all kinds of sponsor this or that, or who knows what. But the topic is the one problem with superhero costumes, and I didn't know there was a problem.
Well, apparently it was titled something else.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
What was it, Mark?
let me look back. Why all superhero costumes look the same? That was the original title.
Oh. Okay.
But
That's a
he
big
changed
typo.
the title and he changed the thumbnail.
That is
you can like think of like if the narrative of the video is like gonna be starting from that. Because how I make videos is that like I think of like a title, so the viewer has like an idea like what the video is about. So I'm gonna like talk around this tile. And the other thing is that like if you make like a title card inside the video, saying like the tile that you intended for it, then it's gonna get stuck. Like you can't fucking edit it out. At least not now.
You know what's possible? It's possible that his algorithm tools. You can download all these apps for your browser that give you good key. Like you should use this keyword for your next video. And he was probably after a day or two, he was like, "Yeah, I should change the title because this is more popular keywords," and that's probably what happened.
Yes. Oh.
You know,
like put like X as like circles, like red circles around like a zoomed image, and like say like all the details that you have missed in this movie.
Possibly, there's so many artists throughout the years that have drawn heroes and superheroes in different ways, even the same one throughout the years. So there's really no I can say, oh yeah, this guy does it this way, but they're always different. They have a different spin on how Batman looks. There's been so many designs of Batman's costume to the point where there's multiple Batman comic books out there of alternate timelines that it's just, oh, if he wants to have actual bat ears, let's make him a bat and we'll call that the Man Bat, and that's the actual storyline. So there's all sorts of other stories around there, not just with Batman or one superhero, but just the entire industry, at least in America, where all these different artists have inspired and influenced other artists to do their own thing. And I can never really say, oh, you know, the design for Batman and this run was bad. It's not as likable, but I could say the artist style as a whole, I'm like, okay, I don't really like this sketchy sort of unclean look in some cases. And I saw that a lot in some of the Lucifer comics, because they get even for Sandman, they pull in random great artists, but sometimes it's like they don't really pay attention to their pencils and they just ink off the pencil. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why is everything so messy? But that's their style, and I just don't like their style because it doesn't seem very professional. But Neil Gaiman likes it, so he kept him on. So I would say individual artists I don't like, but actual designs of heroes like Batman's one of the best designed costumes, like the cape, the cowl, the utility belt, the bright Batman symbol on his chest, or the dark Batman symbol. They're all fantastic looking. They're very austere. They're very dark. It's cool. It looks good. So I want to know like what this one thing is, which apparently wasn't the focus of the video because the title was different before.
I don't know how you could change a title, because it's a big title change. it's not just like, oh, he misspelled a word. He changed the entire, I guess, thesis of the video.
Like the video itself is so like whatever that like you don't really can't like describe it like one tile. It can be like whatever you want it to be, like as subjective as possible.
I guess it just annoys me that these people don't understand the importance of the title. Because
Yes.
people are going through what kind of videos they should watch. They see a video titled this and they click on it and it has nothing to do with the title at hand.
Yeah, like you have like Lord of the Rings. What is that about? Like the War of the Ring. Oh, cool. Star Wars. Yeah. Oh well. Whatever.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back. Oh, yeah. Simple.
Exactly. New Hope. Whatever. Like. All right. Well,
All right.
let's see what he has to say.
Okay, so this is going to be almost a 10-minute video. It shouldn't take too long. It's fairly easy watching. I'm not a fan of his voice. I don't know why. It's weird. Anyway.
It doesn't turn you on.
Well, I'm not expecting it to, but there's something about the tone. I'm like, something's up. Anyway.
Be Captain America, Steve.
It's been a long
I
road
remember
going
this.
from the campy initial
Beautiful.
decades of superhero adaptations to the global dominance of the MCU. Many people have forgotten just how goofy
What?
most of the initial attempts at translating superhero costumes to film actually were. Actually, just how goofy translating superheroes to film were, period.
Okay, that was a scene from Saturday Night Live, I think. Was the death of Superman? Who died? I'm trying to remember.
That was a Saturday Night Live video.
It had to be like what the how the way could they cross over like this?
Yeah, I don't remember, but it's probably Saturday Night Live. I can't recall. Anyway, not a big deal.
Translating superheroes to film were, period. Just look at Reb Brown's Captain America costume. It's a
That shield is awesome. It's like glass or some plastic or something.
It is.
His motorcycle helmet. That's funny.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I like it.
far cry from Simon and Kirby's original idea, let alone what we got in the MCU, even if some of the costumes do kinda always feel the same. It's a phenomenon that's talked about a lot on the internet lately.
That's funny.
He
So
just
he
said the
dresses
original
the
title.
previous title. Yeah, the original
Yes.
title, the same.
Mhm. Those
What-
two
what does-
don't look
what-
the same. Like they are
What
like
does that
so
mean?
different.
Yeah.
Like just not because like Chris Evans, I think that was the actor. Like he's like
Yeah, that's
so
Chris
jacked compared like the original actor that they got for the first adaptation. But just like
Mhm.
you can like say like even like the design of the shield looks like more like grounded, except like compare like that cheap knockoff.
Well, I think any live action adaptation has to be reasonably realistic. That's kind of you look at a person doing things,
Yeah.
all right, that looks goofy unless it's has detail enough.
Mhm.
Doesn't look like a piece of plastic or styrofoam or whatever. It has to be.
Yeah, of course. Like Christopher Nolan was going for that grounded like universe with his Dark Knight trilogy, but like yeah, like not all aspects like went for that. Was
Yeah, like when you have the you want to do a realistic Batmobile, what do? Do you just design a prop that's a really elaborate car, or do you actually use a car or a vehicle that can do a lot of crazy stuff? And he just went, okay, what can we do? Where can we go?
We'll go with the tank.
We'll get like army surplus. What is that? What is that called? The tumbler? The
Yeah, the tumbler.
something like that, designed to jump over certain barriers or whatever.
Jumps over roofs.
Yeah,
He's driving on rooftops.
yeah, like something that okay, Batman can get around rather easily, not think about property damage, and just run things over. Yeah, okay,
It also has like the bat pod, I guess.
yeah. Compared to 1989's Batmobile, which is the sleekest, coolest, like completely unbelievable, has that crazy armor mode that just pops out and everything's a tank now. Like what the hell? How does that work? The hubcaps are bombs, just like what? How does this work? There's no reason. There's no reason this should ever exist. But that was the Tim Burton world. So
Was it able to drive up up the side of a building, or am I thinking of a different movie?
But it was Batman. I don't think it was that one. Maybe it might have been the second one. I don't remember.
No. Okay. Right. Yeah.
The second one's a bit weird with those penguins with like rockets on their back. I was like, that's too weird for me.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito as the penguin. That was brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant casting. Yeah.
But he looked the part. Like he was stylistically, it was like really cool. But like the movie itself,
Oh boy.
it was like going from campy to like too dark. Like, oh god.
To goofy to like it just jumped around and like,
What? Yes.
what's her name getting shot 7 times? You're like, okay, that's alrighty.
Yeah.
A little too much. So
9 lives.
yeah,
It's funny because I love this comparison right here. Like I don't know how these costumes look the same.
yeah, it's the Marvel universe, so who knows? It just tries to make.
Marvel universe, yeah, like they get like the same tailor.
I guess.
Yes, especially Hulk, right?
Yes.
Oh god, yeah. Hulk's pants always stay on. His waistline never changes. his thighs
It was
explode.
dumb in Ragnarok because apparently he was wearing like really tight jeans.
Oh, they had like a really.
That would have.
Yeah,
because it would have ripped off.
Yeah, I was imagining a really, really elastic belt, or just like the belt is inseam, so it's all just part of the pants. It's just this constantly expanding elastic.
Because it's too goofy to give him the purple shorts.
Yeah, no, the gluteus maximus is not, it doesn't explode. It's one of the biggest muscle groups in the body. It doesn't wreck his pants. His pants are fine. You don't see his giant penis hanging around as he slams people. That might be a bit too much for the audience.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't want that.
no, you can't have realism or giant.
Even though you showed his bared ass in Ragnarok, but okay.
Yeah, they can do some things, but not other things. Joe Crazy, hey, thank you. Speaking of hero costumes, have you seen the new Supergirl leaks? It is downright awful. I mean, who gave that the green light? I have no idea. What are the Supergirl leaks? Does anyone know? Have you guys seen it or heard of it?
Yeah, so I shared some pictures of the Supergirl on set, and it's maybe I can post it on the group chat because it's you just gotta see it.
Is
for
it
yourself.
is it the blonde chick from the TV show?
No. This is the Supergirl for the Flash movie apparently.
Oh, all right. Well, take your time. I'll keep with the video. If you want to post that, I'll eventually link it. Yeah,
Yeah.
They're probably going to CGI the crap out of it as they do with most of these things. So, who knows? Anyway, let's go.
In short form social media environments, the homogenization of Marvel's costumes. Well, there's
What's wrong with that? It's supposed to be an extended universe or a movie universe. They should all look relatively the same. You don't want
What word did he use?
homogenized. It's like, yeah, they tend to hire the same people, so the film looks consistent. That's what you don't want like Spider-Man wearing like some space age spandex looking, I don't know, stalagmite adorned costumes. Like that's not gonna work very well. You want alien elements in your series. It has to look the same. It has to be believable. Like Iron Man would have space age cool tech, and Superman wouldn't, or Spider-Man wouldn't. It just wouldn't fit.
reason for that. But before we dive too deep, why do superheroes wear spandex in the first place? Well, the quick answer for that.
What do you think the answer is?
Because in the comic books, they show off the muscle tone, and it's easier to
Right.
draw the body in whatever pose with articulated muscles with shading and light, and it just looks cool. When you have Batman, and you see this guy, and you see a glimpse of light, and you see this chiseled ab chest plate coming at you. It's like, oh my God, he's gonna pick me up and slam me. So there's reasons why we do attractive looking people in comic books. Yes, they are power fantasies. Yes, that's to show off how good the artist is with posing and action scenes. You don't want. Can you imagine Batman coming at you with like jogging pants and a hoodie? Like it wouldn't be very scary. It'd be like what? What is that? Bob? Bob? What are you doing? Why are you wearing a cape? Like what's going on? What's with the? Yeah, it wouldn't look right. So you want to intimidate people. You want to go, oh, that is Superman. He is huge. He's flying, and he is the pinnacle of health. He's just this amazing alien who's come to help us. So you want to show that off. And you could argue from circus world where Superman was born, the strongman outfit, the cape, the close tight clothing, that's part of where it was inspired from, and that's what we just stuck on to, and it worked well. I'm glad we have Superman with showing off his body. It's cool. People want to see. This is a guy who's saving the world. He's healthy. He's strong. He works. Maybe he doesn't have to work out because he's always running around. So
yeah,
makes sense. I don't mind it.
Even like Spider-Man, because
Jules.
Well, Spider-Man is awesome because he's so flexible. So he has all these crazy poses.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Especially when you get damage too. I think it can showcase just like the costume being ripped. Like this is kind of the hero's desperate measures to stop the villain, right?
I'm trying to think of like famous. Was it Todd McFarlane who made Spider-Man? He was an artist for a while for Marvel who made Spider-Man really look awesome. And
yes, he made Spawn, right? Like, that's the same person.
He broke off and did his own thing.
He like, and even today, like a lot of artists are just copying his style because it was just like so over the top and awesome.
He really like went nuts with perspective and poses and action scenes that really made Spider-Man pop on the page. And then with Spawn, I think it was a Top Cow or Image Comics. I can't remember the name of his publishing house. But they did
one of those.
Yeah, they did a whole bunch. It wasn't just Spawn. It was a bunch of others. But they did a lot of like crazy high quality art on their comics. It was full color. And it was just like they had all these versions of the covers, all these foil covers, hologram covers, all sorts of limited editions that made you want to buy more and hold on to them as if they were collector's items. Now they're worth like thousands of dollars because they just are. They're just rare. So it's awesome that comic book art can still be valued at this point in time, like any other piece of art. That's why we usually say that, or some of the artists or authors back in the day would say, the great American novel is the comic book, the Western comic book. All right, here's Mike Testa. Mad TV is superior than SNL, and that's the truth. I completely agree. Mad TV is brilliant. Lots of funny stories in the background of what was happening on Mad TV behind the scenes, but Mad TV is actually funny. It made me laugh quite a lot. Same with Living Color.
What happened to Mad TV?
I don't know. I do know the stories of some of the people on it and why they quit. Like they were going through drug rehab and alcoholism and all sorts of issues like that. Like these are comedians. Like these are actually good comedians doing skits that they think are funny. So that's why these jokes worked. Whereas SNL is just written by committee. I don't even know. It's
like improv almost.
I don't know what made SNL popular. I saw maybe some stuff in the 80s because I was a kid. I was like, what is this? This isn't like, didn't really do, because Richard Pryor was on in the 80s and you had all these other great comedians that were really just pushing it. And SNL was just tame.
Steven Seagal just destroyed it.
Steven Seagal was on SNL. Was he on SNL? I can't remember.
Yes, he was. That was the worst one.
I know he was on.
No way, he was? Wow.
I know they spoofed him on Mad TV. was great. That was hilarious.
Although I think like he hosted an SNL, and after that, like it was like so controversial that they had to like took it off. And they were like apologizing for how embarrassing it was.
What did he do?
For what? What did he
I
do?
don't know.
I
haven't seen it myself. I just saw like clips. Like he was like apparently like he was bad with the staff. Like he was kind of aggressive as well. So didn't quite mixed well with them.
He hurt their feelings.
Yeah, you had to call 911 on that.
Battery and insult.
See, now I'm going to check that out because that's really awesome. Oh,
that's really awesome.
no, yeah, come on. Steven Seagal doing anything just makes you go, what the frick? What's going on with this? Like, what is he doing? Is he serious? Is he?
Right now, like the latest thing is like he became like some kind of Russian ambassador for the U.S.
An
Russian
ambassador?
country.
I heard he was behind the party that's supporting Putin for re-election or whatever, but I didn't know he was an ambassador.
I don't know. Maybe that, but
Oh God. I heard he sold his $4 million bomb shelter of a house or whatever like a few months ago. So that was kind of funny. He's so paranoid. People are coming after him. I was like, okay. Oh, I did hear there's a YouTube channel, I can't remember the name. A retired gangster. He's just like telling all these crazy stories. And one of them is about Steven Seagal. And it's the mob. The mobs didn't really shake him down, but they scared the shit out of him. And they had to get cops to hug him because he was crying so much. How scared he was when he was just giving a confession or whatever when they interview. It was like, what the hell's up with, like, this is a huge man. He's a tall guy. And he had to get like several grown men to hug him and calm him down.
Where did you find this video?
I'll link it. It's funny. I watched it last week. But
I think like there was a video of like a guy was like interviewing. It was like a different interview, but like he just came from interviewing Steven Seagal, and he was like talking about the interview itself. That like Steven apparently like brought like a gun bag with him, with bombs in it as well. And they're like, he asked Steven that like, oh, can you like put those away? And then like Steven was like, yeah, but they are dangerous. Like, please don't touch them. I will get rid of them. So.
That reminds me, Steven Seagal was like a cop at one point because I remember there was
yes,
a cop
he
show.
was.
If you look at the link I just submitted, the guy talks about him becoming a cop because apparently the mob was like trying to make money off some of these action hero movies or something. And once he heard about that, he got scared and decided to become a cop. And and there's a story of him like driving a tank into someone's house or something like that. Which sounds almost identical to what happened in, was it Police Squad movie or something like that, where Frank Drebin drives a tank straight through someone's house, and they're trying to get this guy to come out because he's, I don't know, barricaded himself. He's about to come out, and Frank just rips right through the house. Oh my God. Anyway, let's keep going. Here's Mike Testa. They had Keith Carradine snap the neck of Steven Seagal. Yeah, that was, they put David Carradine, not Keith Carradine. They put David Carradine on Mad TV with the guy who was playing as Steven Seagal, and Steven Seagal was going around snapping everyone's neck, and then he snaps David Carradine's neck, and Carradine falls down, and he gets up after like 5 seconds. And I think he does it to Steven. He's like, "Hey, you're pretty tough." Yeah, I am, Steven. So it's David. This is David Carradine when he's not drunk. Like, he's just normal. He has a normal sounding voice. So, man,
that's awesome.
Those two guys, David Carradine and Steven Seagal, like they're the B movie action flick guys who don't really know how to fight. Although you could argue Carradine learned how to fight later. So he did actually learn some kung fu later. because he
Apparently, as far as I remember, like he actually knew how to do some of those things.
yeah, he opened up
yeah.
he opened up a studio called Energy Lake Studios in Toronto or was it Mississauga? I can't remember. Some city I'm familiar with that he had his own dojo. So he did actually get into it. And he also did Tai Chi and a bunch of other stuff. So he did get into it, but
You been there?
I've never been. My friend did back in high school. He actually met him and trained there. And it's funny because at the time, that's when we were watching the show, the Legend Continues. And if you ever watch the show, he fights and acts so slowly, not because he's instructed to, it's because he's drunk. So
Yeah.
so every time he's downtown Toronto or wherever he filmed this thing, he's drunk. When he's at the dojo, he's actually fine and he fights rather quickly. So he's able to fight. He just doesn't do it. He doesn't take it seriously when he's on TV. So
I remember that there was one story of him that like he actually had to be drunk for like one like scene, and then like he took it so seriously that he was like sober for an entire day.
oh my God.
And like even though like the
Oh,
director was telling him like come on David, like you gotta get drunk for this. Like it was like no, I gotta take this seriously.
Not this time.
This time.
He's been in so many B movies in the 70s and 80s, and it's just a funny career if you see his role. So, but David Carradine, like everyone makes the joke of how he died.
Yeah. Red Letter Media like has like best of the worst, and like he shows up so many times in those like B movies, and like you can see that like he's actually a good actor, but like he's either drunk or like he's horribly miscast into like some horrible role.
If only he was in the Expendables movie.
Oh, that would have been perfect because we was in Kill Bill. I'd be like, oh, it's David Carradine. That's perfect. Yeah, he's good. It matches the
Only
tone.
he did like a year before he hanged himself.
I know. Great movie. Like oh my God, dude, what are you doing? Anyway, let's keep going.
If you're not familiar with Leotard, he was a circus performer from the 1800s. A brilliant one at that. Born in 1838 to a gymnastics instructor in Toulouse, France, he was initially planning on being a lawyer. He passed his exams and was all set to work in a legal firm when he just couldn't shake his passion for the circus. A true performer at heart, he had dreams of building an apparatus that would enable him to swing above crowds, soaring through the air, and he did just that. Jules Leotard not only invented the art of the trapeze, he also created what we refer to today as, well, the leotard. Starting in the late 1930s, characters like Superman and the Phantom popularized fighting crime while clad in these tight, sometimes strange-looking costumes. Most superhero costumes are a combination of leotards, flying uniform, and circus strongman outfits. They were theoretically meant to both display the muscles of the wearer and allow for ease of movement. A practical way to show off. These costumes quickly evolved into visual metaphors. What does Wonder Woman stand for? Female empowerment and the ideas of her adopted homeland reflected in her gauntlets and her star-spangled attire. Batman, creature of the night, otherworldly vampire, unless he's punching the Joker off a 50-foot tall piano. We just don't talk about those stories as much, it's fine, but you get the idea. The superhero's costume is a reflection of the ideas that they believe in, a theatrical display of rebelling against the status quo. So let's circle back around. When attempting to translate these costumes to the screen, in the early days of comic book adaptations, most productions opted for a one-to-one approach, literally clothing their heroes in literal spandex just like their supposed 4-color equivalent. This basically leads to 45 years of characters having costumes that feel off, not too realistic, and play the narrative of Biff Bang Pow comics, and that this is just for kids in one way or another. There's a larger-than-life nature to the illustrated page, it just doesn't function the same way in real life. Drawing Batman in a spandex suit there, it's understood that in that reality, he has armor underneath it, even though we can see his abs.
I don't think so. I don't think before the Silver Age, he had armor, and
no,
it was just
I
the
don't
cape.
think so.
It was the cape and the cowl. That was what was so great about those stories. Is it's just a guy dressed up to scare you, and everything else is him getting the drop on you and knowing enough to disarm you and getting the upper hand. Like that's all it was. Like he was always in those situations because he was good enough to do that. That's what made him cool, and that's what made the animated series cool because it was just the cape. It was just the cape and the cowl. He had his grappling gun and his hooks and all this other stuff, but he wasn't bulletproof. I don't remember him being bulletproof in the animated series, at least. So
No, he was.
yeah, it was all stealth and surprise and being sneaky.
Some gadgets.
Yeah, a few gadgets here and there for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
he wasn't bulletproof.
which just has weird plastic Batman film abs. See how that works in one place but not another?
Okay, but that's the Schumacher rendition of the movie, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, I think.
Yeah. I can't remember if like the 89 Batman had like a latex helmet.
Yeah, it did.
Because like he just its entire head was like moving with the entire like armor.
The first scene where he gets shot, the crooks go and start tapping his chest because he's on the ground. It's like it's some kind of body armor, and then they get distracted, and then Batman just jumps up and beats them up. So
yes,
they made it. They went for the practicality of, okay, maybe he has some armor. He has to protect himself. He's not faster than bullets.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Then
Then
no
we
one.
get to 2002.
Sorry.
Oh, and then no one took it too far.
I don't mind Nolan's take. I just think he didn't focus on certain things. He focused on some technicalities as opposed to others, and he lost the storytelling elements. In three was just a whole other ball game of problems.
Yeah, it was just a comedy, really.
Yeah, the first one, he explains in detail. He explains in detail the helmet.
I just hope it was.
Oh well, yeah. Well,
I wasn't laughing.
I expect you to die. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna break your spine.
I'm just kidding.
It's when you watch the first one and the second one. The first one's sort of like wrapping your head around the Batman, how he operates, the helmet, the details, how he can fly around the world and capture crooks and bring them to Gotham and do all this crazy stuff that no one else can do. And the voice, I still don't like. That was such a oversight. If you're gonna go with the technical route, he's just gonna do this with his voice. It's not.
It was perfect. What are you talking about?
It's like, Christian. Can you give us another, like, what can you do, man, with your voice? So can you give us some versions of that?
It just got ridiculous because people knew. Well, in the third one, like, people knew he was Bruce Wayne, but he still felt the need to put on the voice.
Not everyone knew that he was Bruce Wayne. Like
Bane knew.
Bane knew that, but he didn't.
Catwoman knew. Even when he's like by himself, he's just like, "Oh, that's what it feels like."
Or maybe like Gordon was the last one we didn't know. Because there was like a reveal scene, like a flashback that like Gordon's like, wait, is Batman Bruce Wayne?
Even the CW series of Batwoman had a voice changer. I mean, even then. So if a TV show, which is absolutely ridiculous, can have a voice, whatever, modulator, Christian Bale can have a voice modulator. Come on. But no, they hired Christian Bale. They have to use his talents. Fine. Christian Bale, do the bat. Okay, I'll talk like this. All right, fine.
I think it's fine in the beginning. It's just they just made it worse in Dark Knight and the third one.
Yeah, the second one is ridiculous. Screaming at
Batman.
Screaming
and it's like Batman.
Why you wanna kill me? What?
That's why I like the first one from the movies the most, because it has the least of the voice.
he has like one line.
He says what he needs.
I can understand where it's not what I am or what I do or something. Like the line which pretty much tells his girlfriend, "Yeah, I'm Bruce Wayne." It's like, oh yeah, who else did I tell that to except for Bruce? How else would he say that line? It's like, yeah.
Okay, let's kill off this character.
Yeah,
it would have been funny if she was stupid too. No, let's recast the character and then kill her.
Yeah, there you go. They couldn't afford her. Or was that when she was pregnant? Was that before or after she was pregnant with Tom Cruise's kid? I can't remember. I think that was after.
I don't know. She wanted to do some other movie, so she didn't want to do Dark Knight.
She didn't want any more money.
From what I hear, I don't know.
Money, I don't need that. That's fine.
What, she wanted more money? Okay. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
The quest for more money.
Maybe she made more money at that other movie. Who knows? Anyway.
Why would we pay you if we're just gonna kill you?
2002, everything changes. If you're unfamiliar, the Ultimates was a part of an imprint at Marvel where they restarted the books, making them contemporary and inviting in new readers. Didn't have
Okay, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ultimate. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people went meh. So it really depended on your flavor of Marvel comics at the time. Was
Ultimate where they were trying to go hyper realistic, or
somewhat, yes, but it was kind of like just take the characters and reduce them to what they're good at. Like what is the story of Spider-Man, and just throw out all the crap, all the crazy costumes, and just do that. And it was very focused. And a lot of people liked that idea, but it didn't have all the wonderful history because they changed. It's a totally new universe. They changed it all. And I think that's where they talk about the New 52 and to try to make sense of all these continuities. So Ultimate Spider-Man, a lot of people loved just on the stories themselves. So
there was also a different art style with the Ultimates, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who did them. Was it Jim Lee or not? I can't recall.
It's not Jack Kirby, is it?
No. That's way beyond his time.
Yeah, it can be Kirby.
Anyway.
knowledge of Spider-Man's backstory, no problem. Just pick up Ultimate Spider-Man #1, where the journey was jump-starting all over again. Now, it's hard to overstate the impact that Brian Hitch's character designs for the Ultimates had.
Brian Hitches.
Oh, Brian Hitches, okay.
Trying to remember that name.
No. I was gonna guess Bendis, but
yeah, that name doesn't ring a bell.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Anyway, it's good artwork, so.
On both the comic industry and the idea of superhero costumes across nearly every franchise. Hitch was the first artist to answer.
I don't know about that. Unless he's talking about Marvel, then sure. But during the late 90s, I remember, what's his name? The guy who did Kingdom Come, Alex Ross. Like, that was, like, wow. Because that was...
Oh, yeah.
He was doing actual paintings of...
Oh, the Kingdom Come Superman, right?
Yeah, it was the DC world. And, like, that really stood out when I was at the comic shop in the 90s. Like, whoa, what's that? Alex Ross, what's he do? And you just flip through that book. It's like every page is a painting in the comic book style of frames and whatever. So that really made me go, whoa, that's cool. Like, that's different. I can't really say much for the Ultimate series of comic books, aside from the storytelling. The storytelling was good. The artwork was like standard looking, good quality DC Marvel stuff. So maybe I'm just biased. I don't know.
Yeah, you're a biased DC fanboy.
Yeah. Okay.
The question, what would superheroes look like in real life?
But even like
His
the
visual-
beginning of his video, he like said something along the line that like, how did we get from the campiness of those outfits to like the Marvel dominance that we have today, like global Marvel dominance that we have today, which I didn't understand. Like maybe like in the television media, you could have to say that like
DC
Marvel is like dominating the market, but like DC is like way ahead of in comics. Like okay, like we don't talk about the current shit, but like
Animation.
what they had before.
I would say
animation wise,
Yeah.
I think DC is better.
Yeah, but we've had good stories from DC and Marvel outside of comics for decades. The bigger things like the movies are kind of questionable for DC, but animated stuff from Marvel has been good. Animated stuff from DC has been good.
Video games
have been great. There's all kinds of other weird media out there I've never heard of, played of, or seen that exist. Like like video games for sure. I barely touched those. Multiplayer games, all kinds of mobile games, all kinds of flash games that no longer work or exist. So there's all kinds of great stuff out there that Marvel and DC has been spending money on and people have been spending money on. So it's not shit. They're not bad artwork. It's just there's so much. There's so many styles and artists out there over the years. And it's kind of like when you unlock variants in a video game for like Spider-Man costumes. You can unlock his 1960s look or his 1980s look or his what's the black one called? It's with Venom or
the symbiote.
The symbiote suit. Like there's all kinds of things to unlock in these games and play around with because there's such a history. So I can't target one. Like I don't even know the name of that artist he referred to. I was like, okay, yeah, he changed the way Marvel looks at comics, like or visually. I was like not really. I don't think so. I don't recall that at all. So
well, I'm just kind of curious what the history lesson has to do with the problem, or I guess how all costumes are the same.
Oh yeah, well the title I think we could throw out the door because he changed it. So
what do you? Yeah, I know. But what do you think of the question that he's proposing right now? What would superheroes look like in real life?
Well, that's what I referred to when we talked about the first X-Men movie because I was like, okay, you can't just go 60s camp. You can't just do that because it wouldn't work. It wouldn't look right. And if you have a big freaking what is it called? The SR-27 Blackbird ship and you're flying around in it and yellow bright spandex, probably not the best looking color choice in your espionage missions. You want to be dark and mysterious and blending into the background. I don't think there's any bright yellow environments you want to be in. So they made a joke about that in a line of the movie. It's like, yeah, you're right. You wouldn't have Wolverine running around like that. So it looks goofy.
I guess not.
It would look goofy in real life, and that's why. Geez, even in TV shows, what's that? Oh, the one with Michael Weatherly and that chick from. He played a cripple, and he got this cybernetic brace, and this girl was like a genetically modified from a cat or something like that, so she had superpowers. It was a really great show.
Are we talking about Red Dwarf?
It was with James Cameron directed, I think. Dark Child. I can't remember the name, but like that was like everyone was wearing leather and black and keeping it clean and simple, nothing fancy.
You mean Dark Angel?
Was it Dark Angel? Oh, it probably was. Yeah. And I remember that.
Never heard that before.
It was actually cool. I actually enjoyed watching Dark Angel, probably because I like Michael Weatherly so much. But it was what's her name? Jessica Alba. Holy crap, was she hot back then?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, you get these two gorgeous.
You're a big Jessica Alba fan.
She was cute and hot. She had a nice little sort of like sisterly, but also hot next door chick. Like she had a lot going for her, and I think that show wasn't too over the top. It wasn't too stupid. So I like that those kinds of shows. But man, they didn't do anything stupid.
Oh, you're talking about the guy from NCIS. Dang.
Yeah, before he was on NCIS, he was on Dark Angel. I remember that.
Ah,
yeah.
Okay.
Good actor, yeah. Anyway, Tyler Preston. What we got? Every book outside of Ultimate Spider-Man, every other character is a major asshole. What? Steve Rogers is a racist. Hank Pym is a wife beater. Nightcrawler is a homophobic stalker, etc. Oh God.
Oh yes, I remember the Hank Pym wife beater.
Anyway, I also really liked the first season of Heroes. I thought that was really well done, and then it went off.
Oh God, when did that begin? That was an old show, wasn't it?
Well.
Was it mid 2000s, right?
Later than
2000s, yes.
Yeah, later than Dark Angel, but like that was like, oh my God, this is cool. They're doing so many techniques, storytelling wise, and combining it with a meta comic book in the world. This guy who draws comics and predicts the future, and like what a great all these crazy great ideas. Time travel, even though they had it in there, it was still working. It was like very, very limited. The guy can only stop time for like a second, and then he had to build up his strength to do it better, and he had to find a sword to focus his energy, and it was so like every character was on a journey, and it was so complicated, and it all like, where is this going? And then it just shit the bed so many times. It just crashed so bad, like so high, and just kaboom. Like imagine having power. Not, I guess I can call it power creep. What was his name? Peter. It was the brother of the guy who could fly. He could absorb anyone's powers and use them for his own. And he just kept accumulating powers, and so did the bad guy, but he did it in a very lethal way by studying someone's brain. And it was just this crazy, it came to this point where they just kept going crazier and crazier, and then they have to reboot and start over again. And that's when everything just went stupid. So, oh God. Such a great starting, just all this suspense and action and just so many storylines just overlapping. Man,
they did bring it back though, right? And
they
it was some kind of revival
to do that, and it didn't work out.
Didn't work still.
No, it wasn't horrible, but it just did not. You know, the whole save the cheerleader, save the world was like this really good, cool philosophy, mystery, what's going to happen, yada yada, which was great the first season, and then it's just bleh. Just shit the bed. Anyway.
Solutions reflected the tone of the books. Darker, more grounded, and more serious in nature. Gone was Iron Man's bulky refrigerator armor from the 60s, and here was a robot suit that looked like something straight out of Popular Science.
We saw this in the 90s as well. It wasn't anything... again, you could say that the artist is great. I'm not going to say no, but...
Like, I think it like kind of ruins his like point that it only started in 2002 with the Ultimate series.
Yeah, just read comics in the 90s.
Definitely.
You had all kinds of designs of Iron Man.
Yes.
Maybe not the same visual techniques, because that's when Photoshop came out in the 90s. So, or other image programs that they used for doing their art. So it wasn't just Todd McFarlane doing digital art. It was Marvel as well. So the techniques existed. So I don't know what he was talking about. Why this artist was so influential. I'm like, I don't remember that. So
an actual functional robot suit. Same with Thor. Goodbye massive yellow boots, winged helmets, and bright red capes. A rib leather jumpsuit and boots were here to stay. The aesthetic of the Ultimates was taking the beloved Marvel characters, boiling them down to their essentials, and then rebuilding them using athletic apparel, military equipment, tactical body armor, things that people would put on their bodies in place of spandex and capes. And it set the comic book world on fire. The Ultimates was notable for many reasons, the most primary of which was probably the fact that it perfected the widescreen approach to comics, which ironically is what the Avengers movies would be mimicking very quickly.
Does he mean 2-page spreads? They've been doing that since, the 40s?
Dawn of comics.
Yeah, like the widescreen approach. What is the widescreen approach to comic books? What does that mean?
It's 1080p.
I don't know.
Yeah, big print.
FPS.
Newspaper pages? Like, what are you talking about? Thing cost $200.
4K resolution.
Like, carrying this poster home just rolled up. You're like, okay, here's my comic book. The widescreen approach to comic books.
What, you don't like 30 FPS?
You know what? My brother, he used to be big into Batman. He bought this comic book, and he was on some sort of show. Some film crew came by. We were kids, and because he wrote a letter or something. They filmed him. And one of the directors was like, "Hey, can you like read that big comic when you're laying down on your bed?" And it was this it was like twice the size of a normal comic book. It was a Batman comic. And
was it hardcover?
I don't know what it's called. Like, I don't know, but it was just a big ass comic book. So I don't know where he got it, but like I don't even remember him even bringing it home that one time. But it was just this double this size. Like, the thing is, like, the typical size is what, 8x11 or 8x10. This was like twice the height and width, so it was just this huge piece of pages, and it was heavy. So it was like this big thick thing because you had to print it out. And that's what I remember, that because he was filmed doing that. on TV. But that's the only time I saw a big ass comic book was actually that size. But I don't think that's what he means. So I do remember comic books having fold out pages, a page that would fold out like a swimsuit model or something like that. But it's a full story.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that a few times.
Yes.
So anyway, widescreen comic books.
Thereafter. Believe it or not, the Ultimates is the rough template for both the general approach of the MCU and specifically Joss Whedon's film, The Avengers. This gets right down to the visuals of the universe, the stylistic approach that...
I really don't think so. I think they borrowed from everywhere.
Definitely from everywhere.
We're trying to make their own sort of style.
I don't think the...
well, I did say like roughly, but...
Sure, but I don't think the costume designer was like, I'm going to go read every comic book about Thor right now. So I can
also, what the fuck is up with Captain America? I'm just like looking at the picture and like, there's something wrong with that hip. Like, it bothers me so much. Like that's not.
It's
like, the upper body seems to be much longer than it should be.
I think.
Yeah.
wasn't the comic book made after the film was made for like all these other like Guardians of the Galaxy and.
He said 2002 is the origin.
Well, Guardians of the Galaxy and other things existed well before they existed on the screen. But
of course.
But after that, they then made comic books based off the movies. Like that's just standard stuff for Marvel to do.
Yes.
So, are these examples of that? I'm not sure. Is this in the movie? I have no idea.
I really don't know. Because with like Iron Man, they were just trying to
going
think
all
of
over
like
the place.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Whedon was with the new armor. He was looking for like a cool factor of like what they did with Iron Man 2 with the suitcase, how it like folded on into Tony. He wanted that sort of specific, I guess. Style of suit, and that's what they did. I mean, I think that suit's just entirely CGI.
For the most part, yeah.
And I don't think they're basing it off any comic book, not that I know of.
Bryan Hitch brought to designing superhero costumes on a page was grounded in leather over spandex, utilitarian looks, and a general feeling that they could be worn by a real person out in public.
You can make the same argument about the X-Men movie. They use leather too, so.
As opposed to this. It is hard to get modern America.
Yeah, but you're not going to be inspired by the 70s or the 80s to make your movie in the 2000s? Like, that's ridiculous.
It's gotta be like all the way back from like the late 60s.
I don't know, yeah.
To take full-on spandex seriously on someone like Captain America. I get that, but also not every character works under that overly logical visual aesthetic. I want to take a quick break here to give a thank you to the sponsor of this video, Noom.
Noom.
What?
Oh my god.
Oh, this came out of nowhere.
Yeah. What is... I'm just skipping this. This is ridiculous.
Food. Okay.
All right.
General approach to the idea of superhero costume design will be fully embraced by the man who would soon be put in charge of designing all of the costumes for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That'd be this guy on your screen right now. See, Ryan here is currently the head of visual development at Marvel Studios. Originally from Northeast Ohio, he got his start in video games before eventually transitioning into film. He's worked on the MCU films since Iron Man 1. It's his digital paintbrush, along with an army of fellow concept designers that have designed all of the costumes and suits for the MCU. Many of the Hitch tropes that we've talked about and he established are repeated in the MCU's approach to superhero costume designs.
Okay, so it's one guy, as I guess he was implying. So great, but it was
He's leading that department.
yeah. So he's not saying everything came from Ultimate.
Yeah.
So he just inspired. By
Okay. What exactly is the problem, or?
Um.
I'm still waiting for
Yeah,
I'm still waiting for the problem, and I'm still waiting for like how they look all the same.
Yeah,
because
despite the title, there's a problem that he's saying, right?
because what you
So what
want to
exactly?
do, what you want to do is have one guy, one really good artist design everything so it makes everything look
Exactly.
consistent.
Yeah.
That if it didn't happen that way, it would be
Right.
a problem. So this is a good thing.
Yeah, like when you have like a good architect for like this kind of like task, you just have it in good hands, pretty much.
Yeah, and all the designs are great. Like these are all good
Mm.
looking, believable. Well, aside from the Hulk's pants, but that's fine.
Yes.
Everything makes sense.
Mm.
I was gonna say
But-
somebody in the chat said that the suitcase armor in Iron Man 2 was inspired by the Iron Man animated series.
Oh, really? So I never
Oh,
got
was
into
it?
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can't even remember if the comics had the suitcase armor. That
I
probably did come from the animated series. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if multiple comics had suitcase armor and versions thereof. There's also that living armor that can just teleport to him or something like that and just turn into liquid and just bond to him. So there's all kinds of crazy armor that Iron Man has.
It's almost like they are just like taking ideas from all their past media.
Yeah.
Who could have thought about that?
Oh, they read books.
wonder-
Wow. That's,
Well, I wonder if Nerdstalgic is gonna go into the Netflix universe. They barely wear costumes.
yeah.
Yes.
Or
Well, it's
structure.
3 minutes.
Yeah, we got 3 minutes left. This has been going very quickly. Of course, the 1 minute was just all
Yeah.
food.
Yeah, I mean he's not crazy. He's just not getting to the topic at hand.
Probably gonna have a Patreon as well.
Every single one of these guys just ramble on about stuff. I read a book, and in this book, I learned about a guy who does all the drawings for one movie series. Like, yes,
Okay, cool.
As well. And then they did this and this and that. Anyway, buy some food.
yeah.
And support communism.
And he's not even doing.
Not so far.
He's
at
not.
least.
He's not even doing the 10-minute mark thing, where most of these guys know that they should have to do 10 minutes to get the proper monetization of whatever.
He saves that for Steven Universe.
Oh yeah, he does 20 minutes. Oh god.
Ribcage element, emphasis on paramilitary gear, straps, and structured costume elements are pervasive in nearly every on-screen Marvel character. Captain America, a literal agent of the US government, or Tony Stark, Iron Man, a robotic super soldier. Yeah, these design approaches make sense for them.
He's not a super soldier.
He's
No.
not.
He's
It's
Iron
a-
Man.
it's not-
Captain
Is
America
it's not
is
really Yeah, he's not a robot, but Iron Man's not a robotic, is he? It's an exoskeleton.
he just used
armor.
The suit. Like, he had like the thing for his heart to not die, but like he has like an operation. Like I think in one of the movies.
Yeah, and
so
Iron Man 3, it doesn't make sense, but whatever.
It's pretty much just a human,
I
really
just-
smart guy.
This guy read. Wait, let me
Yeah,
let me just rewind that. I don't think he said that right. Let me just try that again.
maybe I missed
On-screen
something.
Marvel character. Captain America, a literal agent of the US government, or
Who is a super soldier?
Tony Stark, Iron Man, a robotic super soldier. Yeah,
A robotic,
Robotic
super soldier.
No, he's just a guy in a robot suit, who's incredibly charismatic and smart.
But what's his point? Like,
Yeah.
he's saying Iron Man or Captain America. What does that mean?
I'm thinking that like he just like can't tell because like his initial idea was that all superhero costumes look the same. So like if you like
Mhm.
look at Captain America, like what do you think? Or when you look at Iron Man, do you have like the same ideas? Like it's the same character pretty much. I think it's retarded to like even assume this because it's like such a clear line between the two. And I still hold the opinion that like these designs are like really well done. I just look at it and I can exactly like know like what character I'm looking at and what do they represent. Yeah, maybe he's
Especially,
gonna finish his sentence and like get to the point already.
Yeah.
Well,
Hopefully.
especially when compared to like Doctor Strange or
Doctor
Spider-Man.
Strange, Spider-Man. Yeah, like Spider-Man's design especially, like it's just like so original and striking. It's just like one of its kind.
I remember the first time they drew him. Did they have like the webbing under his armpits? Like it had like an actual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to.
I liked that. That was cool because you could easily associate that with, well, not at the time. No one knew about that sport, but this is a sport of gliding, of like what's it called? You fall from a height, but because you have these wings on your arms and your legs, you're pretty much gliding at really high speeds. What the hell is that called?
I know what you're talking about. Like I can't name it.
Yeah, I don't know it's a crazy extreme sport, and that's why I wasn't around in the 60s. But just the fact that we have something like that, and it would explain a little bit of how Spider-Man could navigate the buildings of New York or whatever. Just like, he might need some help to fly around a little bit, as opposed to just swinging all the time.
Yeah, like just remember like something that like I think like animes and like manga has like the problem that like sometimes the costumes or like the character design itself, I just can't tell like which character is which because they have like the same face syndrome problem, and they just all look the same to me. Like they just maybe have like a different hairstyle or what. They're like the many shows that like had like that problem, but I can't really say that for like these like mainstream Western comic book adaptations. Really.
Yeah. Same with.
I was gonna say that reminds me of like that show Hero Academia. They have pretty different costumes from one another.
Oh yeah, that one pulls it off. Yeah.
Yeah. No outfit ever looks the same.
Yeah, I think that's where we really fall in love with the JoJo designs because every character is so visually striking.
That's why I think that like the guy who makes JoJo is just like tries to like make the most ridiculous poses so they don't look the same.
It's not just it's not just the poses, it's the speech, it's the language, it's the hairstyle, it's the clothing, it's the stand, like everything is unique. Like every single element. You're just like, what is that guy wearing and walking and talking and eating and screaming, and why is he getting angry at a dog? Like what is happening? Like everything's just what is going on.
Why is there lipstick on 19th century Americans? Almost every male. And then like you find out like, oh wait, like the guy that was introduced as a man is actually a woman finally. Oh. Really? Are you sure?
It's so over the top and every moment is entertaining. You're just like, I can't even sit down and try and rationalize any of this. It's just too crazy. Yeah. And that's what's great about it. Anyway, back to...
You gotta make it realistic.
Back to Mr. Robot here. Super Soldier Robot.
Mr. Robot Man.
Yeah.
These design approaches make sense for them. However, the aesthetic of extra-governmental paramilitary chic doesn't quite fit everyone and is way too big of a mouthful to say over and over again in meetings. Well, we won't spoil, I guess, any of the...
Extra paramilitary chic? Is that
what was that word salad about?
Is that a style of...
Was he trying to criticize Quicksilver?
Well, no, that was just a shirt he was wearing as far as I could tell.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's just running real fast.
That was literally just a shirt because, like, he gets shot and fucking dies in that movie.
Yeah,
yeah, he's not faster than bullets, I guess.
Yeah. So I think he's talking
bring
about
up the armor argument.
Yeah, I think he's talking about how some characters, like I guess Iron Man, or sorry, let's take the more human characters like Captain America and Black Widow. Like they're just people who are strong and they just wear leather or basic clothing, which is skin tight and simple and practical. So, but even Captain America is pretty flashy with his colors and what have you. So I don't know. I'm not sure what he's referring to. Paramilitary chic. I don't know.
Is he saying that it hinders their physical movements? I really don't know what he's talking about. I'm like lost.
I think they're designed so they don't do that, and that's why he's calling it chic. But I don't know. Like he'd have to actually point out a design that he considers chic and say this is chic. And you're like, oh, is that everyone? Because I'm quite sure.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure there's nothing inherently fancy about Black Widow's outfit. It's just leather with some pockets.
No, it gets worse every time they make a movie.
Oh yeah, she has like compartments and all kinds of stuff. Gadgets.
They try to rip off like a Nightwing with an Age of Ultron. It's like it has like blue lights in the suit or something.
Blue lights. What do they do?
I don't know. It just makes her costume look fancy, I guess.
Oh, you're kidding? It just lights up blue. Okay.
Yeah. It lights. There's like lines all over her
Oh,
black suit,
dark,
and it lights up.
that stupid energy. Like we gotta have like the outline of like the chest plate and like light up blue because it's cool. Like why?
Yeah, something like that. I could show you when we get to streaming.
You see that on some science fiction games. They do that for no reason. It just we'll have like even non-science fiction games, like you're a stealth operator and not Siphon Filter. What's that other game? Sam Fisher. What the hell?
Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell. Yeah, it's like he has these glowing gadgets. It's like you're in the dark. What are you doing? Don't.
Yeah, it's worse because she's like a spy, or I guess she used to be.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to have glowing shit. It would be burning electricity. It doesn't provide light source. It makes you noticeable in the dark. It provides no functional use whatsoever. The only thing I liked was the sci-fi survival horror game Dead Space, I think. The spine of the armor is your health bar. Like that's that's cool. That makes sense. It's functional.
Really
you're not really stealthy. You're just trying to survive. You're trying to find. You want to bright up the area because all these crazy alien creatures are trying to kill you. So that makes some sense. But it's an aesthetic that works with the gameplay. So I actually like that a lot. Anyway, paramilitary
standard military uniforms, I guess.
The other elements of the story that you might not be able to figure out from the very blatant marketing from the film. But needless to say, Shang-Chi is a martial arts master, in the vein of Bruce Lee, so you'd think his MCU costume, which thankfully isn't his comic book costume of running around in pajama pants, shoeless with a headband, would be something along the lines of, well, Lee's iconic Game of Death jumpsuit, right? It's practically a superhero costume already. Well, you'd be wrong. They went with this. A structured Gore-Tex looking leathery, almost athleisure suit.
How does that Gore-Tex? I don't... Does this guy know
what does Gore-Tex mean?
Have you felt Gore-Tex before? It's usually used for...
I don't even know what that is.
It's used for insulation.
Yeah.
For like... for jackets and shoes and all kinds of stuff.
Oh.
So it's puffy usually.
Oh.
I don't know where he's getting Gore-Tex from, but okay. He has a lot of references. I'm
would have to know from experience.
Yeah, I know he has a lot of references. I'm like, what do you mean Gore-Tex? Like, what are you talking about? Does it feel like Gore-Tex? Have you felt it? Like, what are you talking about? A weave of Gore-Tex, maybe? I don't know. That could be any.
Maybe the Chinese people wear that things to inside.
That could be any plastic. That could be any fiber. I don't know. Pick a fiber. It could be anything.
Maybe the actor said it. Maybe he stated in an interview that it's Gore-Tex, so he got that and he put that in the video.
Gore-Tex isn't cheap. It's why when you buy a jacket, if they're Gore-Tex lined or insulated, it's pretty expensive. So I don't know.
Of armor? It's interesting. The costume's common ancestry to Hitch is obviously apparent, but why is a martial arts master who...
Is he referencing that random artist that no one knows from 2001?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he influenced this movie no one has ever heard of.
2001, the Marvel Odyssey.
Even though he's already established that one guy who makes all the art for
making the
MCU stuff.
For the MCU.
Oh.
So are you saying he's responsible for what they did to Falcon?
Yes.
He made that.
He was
suit,
pretty much
Captain
like he also made the Bible, like all the design choices and balance stuff in it.
maybe I'm Canadian. I just know Gore-Tex. We have to buy winter clothing a lot, but I just like clearly this is Gore-Tex. Like no.
Yeah, the Winter Soldier has a Gore-Tex.
Needs to be able to move freely wearing plastic leather armor. Same thing can be said for Scarlet Witch. In general, her costume in the comics just befuddled the MCU design department so much that they didn't have her in her suit from the first near decade of her being a fixture of popular culture. Her initial visual look was more mall goth hot topic employee than fearsome chaos magic wielder. And
Wait, what did he just say?
Gore hot topic.
Is he just inventing words?
I don't.
Yes. Adjective.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
descriptor, noun. You're like, what the hell?
Maybe I'm just not well educated because I just don't know what all
He
those
went to
words
the movie
mean.
Bob School of Reviews, but only took one course in it.
I have 4 ideas. I want to say them all in one sentence. Like, okay.
I mean, it's pretty simple. She's just wearing clothes.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to?
She's a person that doesn't have paramilitary access to equipment.
Especially in her, like, it wasn't her first introduction because I think like she was first in like an after credits scene. But I think in Age of
Winter
Ultron,
Soldier.
like they were like just like around and they were just like running away. I think from both like Ultron and Tony's.
Well, they're trying to help Ultron because
at first, but then they were
they're
deceived.
mad. They're
Yeah.
mad at Tony and whatnot,
Mm.
and then they decide, oh, he's gonna destroy the world like he said before.
He's gonna do exactly the thing that he was said he was about to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, we should probably go against him.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I'm exaggerating, but still, it's like, dude, the guy looks evil. The robot, it's a robot.
Yeah, like he has the evil voice, and like he like tells you that he wants to destroy like everything, and then like, maybe we should help the guy.
Yeah, maybe we should
Everything.
not help destroy the world.
No, destroy the world. It's always fun.
That's a god.
Whoa, wait,
That's
what's
the
that?
wrong movie.
Who's what?
Oh, Hawk? Oh,
Yeah, hello.
Hey, Hawk, how you doing?
Yes.
Why are
I'm
you calling
alright.
Smudboy a fag?
What?
Going at him.
Why are you bullying me?
I just
why you bullying me?
no. How's everyone doing? How's the video? Is it all right?
Almost over, actually.
It's all right. It's just weird. I don't know.
His
pretty
description,
nothing.
his descriptions are reminiscent of a movie Bob that's slowed down, and
Yeah, I saw the Gore Hot Topic Walmart employee. I was like, okay.
That was
You
the
have, like,
point
a
when
fight.
Hawk felt like he has to come on board. Like
Mainly
he
because
knows
I'm like,
Hot
have you-
Topic. He has been an
Yeah.
employee for years.
Are you a big fan of the Gore-Tex?
when you read any of the comics that have what's her name?
Scarlet Witch.
Well, no, her real name I can't remember. But she's always in the
Wanda?
yeah, she's always in the House of M, or she's part of her father's group. So she's always like wearing these robes, and it's kind of like she's part of the family. The same way her father's always wearing a robe or a cape or whatever. So it's kind of like
how embarrassing is that? Like, sorry to interrupt, but like at the time when they like showed this character, they couldn't like reference Magneto because Disney at the time like didn't acquire Fox yet, who had like the X-Men license.
yeah.
So they were never connected.
So they're not allowed to connect
Well-
these characters together as family.
Yes, at the
They
time.
couldn't even call them mutants. That was what's funny.
Yeah.
Oh God,
yeah,
yeah. There's so many things they couldn't do, and there's all these connections they can't make. So it's like, okay, well, she controls stuff. Like she can't actually be the Scarlet Witch. So they have to like make her like magical telekinetic stuff power. Like, what does that do? So no one really knows. Same with Pietro. It's not really her brother. Is it her brother? I don't even think they mentioned that. They can't.
Yeah, like I
Yeah,
think
it
in the
is.
movie's context, they are brothers, siblings.
They're siblings.
Oh, they can say
Yeah.
that. Okay.
No, I was just going on to say that I saw a bit of it with him going like everyone used to wear spandex, and it looks silly, but everyone's wearing pretty much the same outfits now in superhero movies. Everyone looks the same style. So I don't know where he's saying it's like, oh, it's it's better, it's improved. It's a bit like, has it? Because it's just everything just looks the same.
Here's
just
the
a
thing, I
different
still don't know,
colour
like,
of
what's the
leather.
problem, though?
It's like he's talking about an evolution, but
Yeah.
It's almost like clothing has
Also,
changed significantly.
that paramilitary thing. I don't know what paramilitaries he's been looking at, because they don't wear super awesome suits. They don't usually have the money to have super awesome suits.
maybe he was talking about the Shield agency.
Well, so just a suit. But no, my friend used to actually work as a mercenary at the start of the Iraqi war and everything, and what he used to wear was just like, it was pretty much just like what the soldiers were wearing. There was nothing special to it.
He didn't have like a
maybe
utility belt.
It wasn't black leather with like a symbol on the front or something.
Well, he's from Manhattan, New York, so like, yeah, of course, like maybe the paramilitary looks like that, like,
Yeah.
or whatever.
You didn't have a vibranium shield.
No, they ran out by the time he
They
joined.
ran out. Oh yeah, well it's rare, so it makes a lot of sense.
No. Actually, they had a lot, but you just hired too many people. So, oh well.
Okay.
Labor gave it away to the NHS.
Well, because Wakanda was not going to be
Toothpicks.
happy.
No, Wakanda's never happy. But also, it's like, when you look at some of the stuff, some of the uniforms, some of the outfits of in the MCU, you could say they do look spandex-like. Spider-Man's suit in Civil War, you could say, looks like spandex, and Black Panther's from a distance, you could say it's just like an all-in-one suit. So,
well, it's funny because Black Panther, it was sort of armored, and then you get to his own movie, Infinity War, and it's like now it becomes spandex.
Well, his outfit's ridiculous. It's just, he's invincible. It's just, okay, whatever.
they're all
He absorbs.
invincible. It gets
vibranium suit.
yeah. Everyone, all the MCU now, all the characters are invincible. It's just like, okay, cool.
Yeah, but
Well, yeah, now because they don't know what to do.
his lore makes him like,
characters.
the explanation is he is literally invincible. You're like, okay, well, that's fun.
Well, it's funny because I remember there was this one series where like Black Panther, if he does not distribute the energy that he absorbs, he could explode and die. That's kind of like a weakness.
When did Black Panther turn into the Nom the SR2?
I don't know. I don't care.
It doesn't like expand the energy built up. He'll cook alive inside. Oh my god. That's a serious design flaw for a suit, by the way.
Yeah. I'm gonna
It's a
discharge.
suit, by the way, it can kill you.
I have all this useful electrical current. What do I do with it? I have to dump it into a planet's atmosphere. It's like, what? Okay. That's...
Yeah, sure. Okay, then we could just try and reuse it.
The one thing
I see you've already projected it.
the one thing we use as a fuel source for all of our electronics, we got to dump it. It's like, what? Writers can maybe... Oh, we'll fix that in Andromeda. Yeah, the one game no one cares about. That's great. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm surprised he's not talking about DC or like some of the older Marvel properties. He's just talking about the MCU.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's another thing. But the
DC
small bit that I've been watching, it is sort of descending into MCU is bestest at costumes because MCU is bestest ever. And it's like, right, they have made some pretty poor costume choices with stuff.
Like, for example,
I
think Ant-Man looks pretty bad.
Yeah, Ant-Man. And to be honest, everything. This is the problem. Everything starts to look just like they're just wearing a leather suit. I mean, Iron Man and Captain America look good. But when you get people like, War Machine is just Iron Man.
Yeah, it's just
It's
a
a black
reskin.
guy. Yeah. The Winter Soldier is just literally him in leather. The Falcon's just him in leather but with wings. Hawkeye is just a man in leather with a bow.
Zemo.
Black Widow
Zemo
is
is just like a guy in a trench coat with a luchador mask.
Yeah, Black Widow is a woman.
Guardians are also in leather too.
Yeah. Drax has no shirt. Okay, cool. That's a bit of a change. And Groot's a tree, so okay. Spider-Man is literally now being turned into just Iron Man. Yeah.
Iron
what
Boy
else
Jr.
is there? Yeah, Iron Boy Jr. Captain Marvel is just a bitch in leather. What else?
More like a cow in leather.
Thor is wanting
Thor
to
is
go into leather.
Fine.
Thor
Yeah.
really just wants to go into leather. You can tell they really just want to stick him in some leather.
Oh god, they ruined Loki. Like Loki had like a really cool outfit, and then Ragnarok they just put him in leather.
Yeah, and just leather. So this is
Green
that's
leather.
the thing. So yeah, so that's what I mean. It outside of Iron Man and Captain America, it is just literally stick everyone in leather and just like say, yep, that's it, done.
Well, I
we'll
think
paint it
Doctor
colour.
Strange has the Mortal Kombat with a flying sentient cape going for him, so that's something at least.
Oh yeah, Doctor Strange is
Yeah, sure.
a tad bit different, but
Yeah.
I mean, they would stick him in leather if they could.
oh yeah, they
I would love to see that though.
I have a feeling that Marvel like has got some like BDSM like fetish or something.
Well, I wonder
It's
what
just-
this YouTuber's point is. It's like, what's his problem exactly? Is it okay? Does he not like the spandex, or does he and he likes the leather, or does he not like leather and like spandex?
All right, here is to Tim 505. You hear about H3 and Crowder? No, I haven't. I do know H3 says some stupid shit about just trust your government, just trust Fauci. He knows more than you do. And then Crowder did a response.
H3?
Yeah, and then
Ethan?
Yeah, Ethan. And then Crowder did a response to that last week, just bashing him like easily because anyone can bash Ethan because he's not very bright. That's all I heard.
Well, let's put it this way: Ethan goes trust Fauci. Like 2 weeks after it's been proven that Fauci's been lying to people, and you're like, Ethan, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Dude, was Ethan always a retard, or did he just slowly become one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
But he was just like not really getting into politics that much, so like it wasn't that obvious.
I don't know what happened.
Well,
God damn.
I don't know. I just did a search. Apparently, someone ambushed Crowder on a talk show or some other podcast, and he left.
No, like they had like a debate. Like originally, like how it was advertised is that the Crowder was going to have like a debate with Ethan, and then Ethan like shows like another guy to the debate, and then like that other guy and him were having a debate, and then H3 was like, well, he just laughed like a coward or something. Like,
Crowder is one of these people who does not like. He knows that he can debate people, but also the fact that everyone's trying to like just gang up on him, and he's like, I'm not wasting my time.
Yes.
All right, here is Francis Ford Coppola. Nitwits say Captain Marvel's suit is practical compared to her comic suits. It's a leather suit. Have these people ever worn leather? It's not known for its elasticity nor its mobility. I wish Marvel would actually try to experiment with costumes. And I would say the same story beats we got with the first Christopher Nolan movie, where they talk about, this is impractical. We need to make the head more mobile, yada, yada, which they sort of did with Spider-Man, I thought, when they were working with Tony Stark, and he was giving him his suit, I believe, and fixing it up. So there's parts of that in some stories, but not all of them, because we just assume, well, it's Black Widow, she just wears whatever. She jumps around. So
Black Widow is just too OP it's just she can do all this fantastic stuff when she originally is just like a Russian spy.
yeah, when I watched
Doesn't really get involved in.
when I watched the first Avengers movie years ago, it was like she was the one who wasn't fighting, or she was fighting, but she was mostly like going to go get the staff and running around and doing all the crazy stuff that everyone else was just fighting. So it was like, okay, it would make sense. The person who's doesn't have any special powers, probably the best at, well, probably not the best, because you could just fly up there if you want any of those guys and get this.
Well, yeah.
The staff.
So then you have like Hawkeye as well. Like Hawkeye is just like a guy with a bow.
Yeah, but he's ridiculously.
But
his skills
Hawkeye
are
literally
insane.
said in one of the movies, "Listen, I'm just a guy with a bow. I have no idea what's going on."
Yeah, well, Age of Ultron.
Because that was a joke.
Yeah, but at least he actually says
acknowledge.
Oh yeah.
I'll give him credit.
Well, I don't know. It was always weird because Black Widow and Hawkeye, they're usually like, I know Hawkeye's in the Avengers, but still, just a guy in a bow and arrow that's like, he doesn't even fight Thanos.
Yeah,
Could you imagine if he fought Thanos?
But people out there would say, yeah, but Batman's just a bloke in a bat suit. Why is he part of the Justice League? It's like, okay.
Well, Batman's
maybe.
Batman thinks outside
really
the box.
Smart guy. Also,
I mean, he plans for contingencies. Does Hawkeye plan for contingencies?
Yeah, he plans for all the times he doesn't have a bow and arrow, which is his contingency plan of always have a bow and arrow.
His retirement plan. Well.
Yeah, it's just weird because it's like Hawkeye, I feel like is limited, whereas Batman, you can go a little more. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. All right, here's Mike Testa.
Batman does make suits as well, like Iron Man. So yeah.
So Mysterio, as opposed to Mysterious, I don't know why Mike gave me 2 super chats, but thanks for correcting yourself. Had a cool suit, then downgraded to GS. Mysterio gets a lame green screen suit as a downgrade.
Yeah. I think he's talking about Far From Home, right?
GS?
Yeah, probably that.
Is that what GS?
Because it has that same thing where that suit just lights up for no reason.
Oh. Yeah, Mysterio is one of the more, not the most common villain for Spider-Man, but.
Oh, I forgot. He's wearing a motion capture suit.
Yes, he is. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, it took me a second. Because I forgot that there's that main suit and then there's that behind the scenes suit. Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Anyway, let's get back to Scarlet Witch.
Did get her costume at Division. It's, well, plastic, leather, structured pseudo armor. Well, again, the question is why? Honestly, Wanda's joke costume from the Halloween episode is a much stronger visual silhouette.
You want to see her prance around in that, really?
I mean, I would love to also, but I don't think it would make sense.
Wait, hold on. So this makes a stronger silhouette. That's perfectly fine. But Adam West's character looked silly.
Well, no, I mean, the previous suit we just saw of Wanda at least looked like it could stop something. This is just a dress and a cape.
Yeah, but it's a stronger silhouette. But that's literally what Adam West's Batman outfit was. So,
but Hawk,
is it just
Adam West is not sexy like Elizabeth Olsen?
Whoa! Adam West was fucking Chad.
Adam West is the Chad.
Do you remember that book
Hey, I'm just using the guy's logic, okay?
Remember the book that Robin? I can't remember the actor Robin. He wrote that tell-all book where there was all these
Kurt Ward.
Kurt Ward. Burt Ward. He had all these escapades, like there was all this sex going on behind the scenes, and
There's sex orgies everywhere.
And Adam West was like, "That never happened. I never did. This is a lie. It's like, okay." So why would this guy?
Yeah, sure, Adam.
Why would this guy reveal all this crap? Make a fake story of all this stuff happening with all these names of all these people doing these things. If it wasn't a big fiasco, it was like...
But the thing was, Adam West said no. Everyone else said yes.
Yeah. Because he was in charge of it,
It-
probably.
Yeah, it was like, Adam, Everyone else is saying yes. What have you got? This is a lie. There wasn't 5 women. There was 8. If you could get the numbers right.
Look, I'm not Bruce Wayne, okay? Bruce Wayne is a totally different guy from Batman. Hey, Batman does orgies.
I never
Bruce
dressed
Wayne
up as
doesn't.
Batman. I dressed outside of Batman.
Yeah. And you remember that
Just for a scene.
Adam
I
West-
swear.
Adam West never had to say he was Batman. He just put on the suit and everyone knew who he was. So, you know.
The Bat orgy.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I would love to be in one of those.
What, a bat orgy?
With that West.
Oh, did I say that out loud? Oops.
Back in the 60s when ladies were ladies. There you go.
Ladies were ladies and men were ladies. And you just ladied everyone.
Oh, God. If you guys remember, was it the Batwoman song whenever she pulls out her motorcycle? Oh, my God. That was hilarious. Oh, God.
But to be honest with you, the original Batgirl from the 60s one, she was like a proper swimsuit model as well.
They were all
She looked
very
really nice.
very attractive women. Yeah. They don't make them anymore like that.
Oh no!
Anyway,
It was a way to get the kids.
do,
The
you
kids
just
would
gotta
watch
find
it for. The kids would watch it for Batman, and the dads would watch it for Catwoman and Batgirl.
and all the flus. There was a lot of floozy girls on there for the sake of having female damsels in distress and who knew the
yeah.
who
My
knew the
dad,
henchmen.
he liked watching Robin in the short shorts.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
I always enjoyed the when they're climbing up a building like it's every day, and they just tilt the camera 90 degrees, and while they're like in mid climb, there's like always some guy hanging out the window. Hey, Batman, what are you doing? No. Oh, well, keep going. Good luck.
It used to, they always used to. It was used to be a cameo of actors in the 60s. So they get cameos of like whoever was like a TV actor in '66 or something like that to appear, and it's like, oh, cool. I don't know why to add that in, but that's nice.
Funny. There's so many funny things on that show, and if you're a kid, you'll love it because it's so ridiculous. You're not stupid. You're just like, this is so silly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I always say watch the 1966 Batman as a comedy, not as a serious Batman.
Which
thing.
is
Just watch it as a comedy.
Which is funny
you'll love it.
because they had a few episodes with the Green Hornet, which was a serious detective story noir thing, but they still had the fight scenes with Batman with all the biffing and the boffing. What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Lee beating the shit out of her. Okay, this is fun. Anyway,
There's also the Tick. Remember that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Tick was awesome. That was great. Indestructible, stupid person with the accountant for a sidekick. That was great. Anyway, Mike Testa. Yep. Yes, I hated that part from Far From Home. It's ugly. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know if it makes sense because it's like he's using technology to make magic happen.
That was the
how that
concept
works.
of Mysterio. He makes illusions. Everyone, Spider-Man thinks he's fighting illusions. He can't tell the difference. That's one of his spider sense doesn't go off, so he's kind of confused and things don't, stuff like that. So interesting.
Yeah. No, it's not the spider sense. The Peter sense or whatever they called it.
The Peter sense, really?
Really? They renamed it like that?
I never saw it.
I just remember that he persuaded Peter to give him those Tony Stark glasses so he can use it for the good of mankind, but actually he just uses them for those drones.
Yeah, because apparently the glasses control the satellites to launch missiles onto the planet.
God,
I don't know why he would give that to a kid.
So stupid.
I don't know why the kid gives it to Mysterio. The whole thing is just stupid.
Was Tony going like, if I die, make sure you blow up Morocco?
By
Well.
blinking 2 times. Okay, thanks.
Couldn't do
You
this
only
because
blinked
the
once.
government was watching
No,
me,
I'm
but
sure it was twice.
you can do it.
What's half a blink? Does that like send the missiles to
What's,
Detroit?
what's half a blink? Oh my god! What? I want to know how he could half a blink. How do you do that?
You
All right.
just can, okay?
All right. So her silhouette is so good in this dress. Like, okay, fine, sure.
That's a Halloween costume.
I know.
Also,
In the
can I just say
context
something?
of
You know,
the
he says her silhouette. Yes, both of those silhouettes do look lovely in that dress. I would love to put my head in between those 2 silhouettes.
Yeah, totally. But Vision got to it first. Sorry,
Oh,
but and that episode is just a Halloween episode, so that's a Halloween costume. So
yeah.
I don't know why he
Well-
thinks that, but okay.
Anyway.
Oh, well.
It's very flawed, but it's here. Imagine that crown on a costume that wasn't played for laughs. It could work. See, overall, the MCU has a myriad of accomplishments, which it would be futile attempting to list, at least here. However, one common criticism is that the films feel a bit uniform or cookie cutter. This goes back to 2 points. The use of humor, which erodes character individuality sometimes,
Mr. Rogers, I almost forgot. That suit did nothing for your ass.
As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
and the visual sameness of the character designs and sometimes behaviors. Should a mystical character like Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, or Dormammu all share a common visual language? Sure. Is there an issue that the paramilitary grounded characters share a common design scheme? No. The issue is that everything in the MCU is filtered through the same precise and very narrow lens. Why are the same space activating ribbing and patterning on Spider-Man's costume on Captain America's costume? It's also on Shuri's costume.
The ribbing?
Wait, how? What does
The
that
ribbing.
What is he talking about?
He's saying that Captain America and Spider-Man are just wearing giant condoms.
And that's somehow similar to Shuri, who's
How-
wearing like half a costume.
How are they all the same though? Like, what is he
I don't
talking
know.
about? The material?
no.
Like what? The
They
texture?
do. They do start looking similar. That's what one of the things starts
But he's
merging
comparing
into one.
Far From Home suit to the first of, not first of it, but the first Avengers movie, 2012.
You could possibly say they do start looking similar. Yes.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's consistent with the one style, one vision. But like the color, the size, the shape, these are all different costumes. Like I don't know what the problem is.
I think it's just because the MCU is getting to a point where it's starting to be like they could all just be wearing just a simple black leather suit like X-Men with no differences at all, and it's like,
Well, considering how they like to, well, like the Russos always like to suck out the color out of everything. So, yeah, I don't know how moving forward, because now we're getting new people and we're trying to be politically correct.
but the thing is, it's going down the same stuff as like what happened in the 90s with costumes. Everything started going the same. So yeah, it's just what happens every time something gets popular. Like, I don't know, maybe in 40 years' time, spandex might come back in. Who knows? Who knows what happens with fashion? It goes in circles.
Like poetry, it rhymes.
Yeah, but seriously, fashion always goes around in circles. It's why sometimes you'll see people wearing the same stuff that people wore 20 years ago and go, oh.
I'm not sure he's talking about fashion. I think he's talking about the material, the texture of the material.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is when I talk about fashion is like, what's the style? What do people think looks cool? So what do people like? The fashion in regards to superhero suits will start looping back around again to what we had beforehand. because that's what always happens with every sort of design of stuff.
But I don't know what he's talking about. What is similar to
These
like,
three
okay,
people, yeah. These three people.
throw in Punisher. What
Like,
do they have the same ribbing too?
If you can make this argument with a variable, like a visual variable, saying the rib, what even is ribbing? I don't know. But let's say he can narrow it down to ribbing, right? So he should have a cross section. He should have, here's person A with the same ribbing, here's person B, here's person C, and he has arrows, and we can look at the ribbing. We say, look, they're all the same. He hasn't done that. Mm-hmm. He's just saying they're the same, and I'm like, what the hell are you even talking about?
I don't know. The same ribbon. Is that the issue, or
I don't know what the
same fabric, the same the same color, same.
I must be like when I think of like a space age tech or something fancy like titanium weave or carbon fiber or something. It's like, okay, that has a certain look. I've seen carbon fiber in reality. I've seen it on bikes. I've seen it on cars, on all kinds of other vehicles. It has a certain texture, look, as well as a certain feeling. And he could say, okay, this texture looks very similar to Spider-Man's. It looks very similar. It's like, okay, how is that bad? Why is that bad? Because maybe that's lightweight and really durable, and it makes sense because they have access to it. And plus, we're talking about Tony Stark and Spider-Man working together. We're talking about this girl who has access to, what is it, the most expensive metal on the planet.
She has access to everything.
Yeah,
there's nothing she doesn't have access
to.
If you have everything,
if you have all these powerful dudes with all this money and resources, it's like, so what? What's your argument then? They look similar because they're using the best stuff, and that's the best stuff they can get a hold of. It's like, and what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
So I don't understand where he's going with this.
Yeah, because also earlier in the video he was complaining about the fact that the spandex just didn't look right, and now he went and said Scarlet Witch's Halloween costume looked good, and now he's going that the stuff that he was praising is now looking bad and the same, and I'm like, okay.
I don't know, like how it just look at Shuri. She's not wearing any like sleeves. Just wearing like braces. I don't know how that's similar to like Spider-Man.
Yeah,
how that's similar to Vision.
I can say that Captain America's Avengers outfit does have the same type of look as Spider-Man's. What was it?
Somewhat, yeah.
And so what you can say, you can see and go, these look similar. Not color-wise, or in other things, but as in like they do look. You can see similar aspects in each outfit. In the same way that you can look at his later stuff and see similar things between him and Captain Marvel, Bucky, and Falcon. You can say, oh, there's certain things that each character sort of has.
Yes, but how is that a problem?
I didn't say it was a problem.
Well, that's what I mean. He's saying he's
saying that it's a problem.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's the one problem. And I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see.
And again, he's saying superhero costumes. He's not saying specifically MCU.
Well, I think
but in the video, he's talking about MCU. So it's like
he can't be arguing both. He can't be arguing Superman or Spider-Man look very similar. It's like, what? No. So
like who looks?
So this video is just
like,
all
who looks like who's like Batman in the MCU, and people say Black Panther. I'm like, no.
This is like complaining the color.
Very different.
This is like complaining the shade of blue on Spider-Man is the same shade of blue on Captain America, and that's bad. And I'm like, even if it was, no, it's not. It's a color.
Jeans are the same as like sweatpants.
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed you the same color.
It's just a nitpick, and I'm like, why is having the same quality of any element, of any texture, of any discernible category bad? Tell me why. I'm not seeing the problem.
How's it?
I mean, I know. I said that everything's starting to look like they just shove people into leather, but that's because I have a fear that we are going to get into like the first X-Men stuff where they were just all in the exact same black leather uniform, and that would be a problem because then it's just that's a it's dull. B, it does actually look really bad on screen. and C, you made everybody look exactly the same apart from their faces, and it's like,
Well, yeah, considering how they want to go on this woke train, it probably will, so that everyone's the same, everyone's equal. Probably, yeah. I don't.
Anyway, I think we're getting lost because he's not explaining himself very well.
He probably should have kept the original title, because that probably makes a little more sense than saying, "Oh, there's the one problem with superhero outfits."
well, I mean, on this pause screen right here with is that Killmonger's Black Panther suit?
Killmonger, yeah.
You can say that looks exactly like Black Panther's suit.
Yes,
but that's because it was meant for Black Panther.
I see. Eric
he just stole it.
So it's perfectly fine.
I'm in no joking mood right now. I'm just joking.
I'm in no joking mood.
Like genuine PS2 graphics.
Oh yeah.
But like you can say, because in the because in Infinity War and Endgame, Captain America's suit has got similar plating as Black Panther's suit. But that's obviously because they're just basing their technology off of the suit. So, but like what Smud says, it's the best technology. Why would you not use it?
Because we're special.
It was kind of like arguing. We're shown mithril in Lord of the Rings, and not everyone has mithril, but there's really not much difference between mithril and like a shiny steel or a silver metal. So it's not like you assume everyone has mithril, but because of its special nature, it's like, oh yeah, okay, so the hero should get it. And Gandalf finds a silver sword or a mithril sword, and there's mithril buckles and all these other things they find. So that makes sense. They would find it.
Yeah, it also makes me laugh at the fact that it's about mithril, and there's literally Moria is literally a mithril mining thing, and you're like, so we obviously had a lot of mithril to mine.
Yeah, it's this legendary metal that they've forgotten. Oh my god, where'd you get it? And they also forget that Sting shines when there's orcs around, and sometimes it doesn't. And you're like, oh yeah, that's just... So there's all these inconsistencies with the lore, which you should point out as problems. But just having the metal or having the look of things look similar to other things is like, well, it's not like cast iron and steel. There's a big difference in the appearance of those two things. So you wouldn't have to worry about, polished steel looking the same as cast iron. That'd be silly. But we're not doing that. It's just a suit. It's just like,
the thing is, things look similar, but they also have their differences that makes them stand out, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
As in, like, Spider-Man's outfit and Captain America's outfit, though they have similarities, do have their differences.
Yeah, it's such a nitpick. I don't. This is dumb. We'll just keep going.
Yeah.
You're like, all military outfits are the same.
And when you start adding in hero after hero, universe after universe, it becomes a little, tedious. The concept designers at Marvel, the costume designers at Marvel are master craftsmen. Could they create inventive solutions for these issues? Absolutely, but it's not always up to them, which is why we're not here to talk about what they've done wrong. There are producers and directors and executives to consider in the simple fact that not everyone working on these comic book characters actually likes their costumes, but I mean, come on. Am I the only one still hoping for a Batroc the Leaper movie appearance where he isn't wearing a purple jacket? Put the guy in the mask and the mustache already. Let's see what happens. Well, that's all for this episode of Nerdstalgic, guys. If you enjoyed this one, press that like button down.
Right.
What was
nothing, Ben.
What was the argument?
They're not like the comics.
Well, that's good though, isn't it? That he said earlier, they're not like the comics with their spandex stuff.
He said exactly that, like the opposite of just now.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Wow, this is just... I mean, yeah, I want Zemo to be in that purple outfit. Just be the fucking Zemo.
Zemo wearing the wrestler outfit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want him to wear the mask for like 5 seconds and then take it off for no reason.
Yes. I remember that like they had like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier like a promotional poster, and then he had the mask on, and I was like, "Who is this character? Who the fuck is this?" And I see like in the middle of it, and like he wears the mask, and like he takes it off right away.
Yeah, he puts it on, takes it off. I don't know what.
Yeah.
It's this thing they keep doing with the MCU where they always have to take their mask off because we got to see the actor's face, you know?
Yeah. Like,
All right,
like
so here's the
Last Jedi.
these are screen caps or whatever you got, Eric, from the Superwoman outfit.
Oh yeah, so that's the Supergirl for the Flash movie.
Why does she have dark hair? Is it a different actress?
I think it's a
Well, so what's on her
Hispanic
stomach?
lady.
Yeah, what is up with her stomach? That is weird.
I guess they're trying to give her abs.
But what?
I don't know.
It
That's
looks
is
like,
it-
it looks
is it
like,
just
it looks
Neil,
like
like
she's got
she's-
like aliens trying to pop out
Yeah,
of
it's
her
like she's
stomach.
got claws or something on her chest or
got
abdomen.
worms.
Ah,
So she looks short.
I don't know.
Like,
all right. So she's got.
Here's a picture of what she really looks like every day, I assume, but see if I can find it.
So she's wearing some sort of harness on her suit. That's a weird harness because it's underneath the suit, and they clip on these. Some sort of, what is that? Like a metal brace? I don't know.
That's obviously to pretend that she's flying. So
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah.
understand that, but it looks like, what the hell? Anyway, let's go to do we have any stream memes? I'll just check it out. We probably don't.
there's a few stream memes. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll post what she looks like there.
All right, today
It's such a sorry.
this is today at 1:30 for Mateus's lost son. Mateus, when chance to be a nice mod, I sleep. Chance to be big gay, real shit. What the hell?
What's weird because this guy left.
Who?
This guy Novea,
Okay.
he just left the server, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay, this is the stream meme channel. I don't know why they're popping this stuff in, but all right.
I don't know. I don't
Berserker at 5:35. Thank you. This is Batman in a jogging outfit. I think I made that joke.
Yeah,
yes.
that's realistic.
I'd still be pretty scared if that face was looking at me. Like, holy shit, who's this guy?
Ben Affleck's face.
It's coming at me with.
I'd be worried because his head is way too big for his body.
David Carradine. Oh my god.
This was
Oh
just
my
before the
God.
outwear like asphyxiation.
What is that on the computer?
What's
Is
on
that
the
a
computer?
hentai?
Yeah. What's on the computer?
Oh,
Manga.
Some manga shit? I have no idea.
More importantly, where
whatever
do
it
I
was,
find it?
it was a good time until it wasn't.
Okay. Batman's early armor. Here we go. Oh, he's wearing actual chains.
Oh,
Plate
Free ice cream coupon worth 10
10 cents.
cents.
I just love that guy, what he's shouting. Batman and Robin are wearing steel armor and they have to use chains to hold their weight. But why? It's like, mate, you are asking too many
Why?
questions.
are you an idiot?
I just love the old comics where they had to like explain everything.
What the hell? What? So we got it was the first Superman movie,
Yeah, Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man. Yep.
and then we have
Spider-Man, yes.
Master Chief.
Did you say
Hold on.
Superman?
Sorry,
Did you say Superman?
Spider-Man. Sorry, the first
That
Spider-Man.
was a
movie.
Freudian slip.
Wait, why did that look like Superman to you?
Yeah, the red, the blue.
The red,
All
and blue, and
same.
all
the
superhero outfits look
giant,
the
the
same.
giant spider on his chest.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. Then it dawned on me. Oh, that's,
One problem with superhero costumes.
yeah, it dawned on me. It was the first film. Who is this guy in the? Who is saying they're the same costume? Is that nerds?
Oh,
I think that's Arnold or the.
Are you,
That's the guy.
that's the
guy.
YouTuber?
is that the guy? Oh,
Yes.
cool.
Because one was a super soldier Iron Man robot, and the other one was Spider.
Master Chief.
Yeah.
Like, what? What are you talking about? How are they the same? Camouflage, bitch. Yeah. I can smell you coming.
Fuck.
Noom.
Come here, bub.
Noom. What is Noom anyway? We didn't watch that ad because that looks stupid, but apparently it's another food service.
It's
Oh, I thought that said coom.
yeah, it's a kind of service that tells you how to eat and do things.
How to eat?
How to eat. Do not use your feet. Next.
Put food
Oh,
into
I've
mouth.
been doing it wrong this entire time.
Chew, swallow. Wait a while. Go to bathroom.
Wait a minute. You have to swallow the food?
Oh, here we
I'm
go.
learning new things.
This is Bears for sure. Yeah. Jessica Alba Dark Angel. I don't know. I didn't watch the show. It's actually not bad. It's I was like, yeah, it's corny at times, but the writing's fairly decent. It's silly because she's kind of like the superhero because she goes out in the night and she comes back and her best friend is waiting for her and all that crap. But the dialogue's pretty good. Not sure about how that relates to Warhammer, but you know.
It's just the fact that Bear's like I don't know what this show is. Just get Alba on Warhammer. Sure about it.
And this is Alba on the horrible. Well, all the Fantastic Four movies are horrible. So
At least you were there for her.
I never watched it. No, I never watched it. I never saw
To be
them.
honest, you would have made it great,
honest with you,
Mr. Fantastic.
Okay.
yeah. To be honest with you,
Look at
the
that, you
first
look like
Fantastic
him.
Four is the best Fantastic Four movie, but considering the other two, it's like not that difficult.
Yeah.
You mean the one that was
9/11.
never
9/11 is a better Fantastic Four movie.
I think The
than Fantastic
Incredibles
Four
is a
movie.
better Fantastic Four.
Okay.
The Final Solution is a better Fantastic
You know, I
Four
just
movie.
don't like her blonde hair. I just don't. It doesn't work for me.
So,
Apparently that's fake. It's a fake wig.
Oh, really?
No,
Yeah,
that's
'cause,
from the new movie. That's from the new movie. That was a wig for sure.
She's gorgeous.
No, she used the wig too because apparently she couldn't handle
Really?
the hair dye. Yeah,
Yeah, don't
Yeah, in the
don't
second movie. In the
Fantastic
first
Four
movie, it was
needs
real.
a fake wig.
yeah don't
Yeah.
don't mess with the natural hair. The natural hair, she's gorgeous.
mm.
Is this superhero armor? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Bears. Okay.
Whoa. There's the but,
Yeah, don't forget the butt juice.
Oh man!
He
So-
got like
so
the
I-
best Adam West
Oh.
picture.
you know what the scary thing is? Arthur Morgan's head really suits that body shape.
Shut
So
up.
that's the original. Okay.
No, it does not, Hawk.
It does.
He
Just-
he has
just
his own
forget-
body type.
Yeah, that one.
If you squint your heart really hard, then it.
No, honestly, that literally does look like Arthur Morgan's actual
all
body.
right.
Yeah, boy.
Oh dear.
Here's Gorgeous Rex. The problem with superhero costumes is
The same mask, I guess.
this. This looks like the was that Eyes Wide Shut, but they're like in normal clothes.
Yeah.
And they're just
Nobody
sort of
cared
Oh,
why
yeah,
was on
yeah.
the
going
Book
shopping
on
or
the Mars.
something.
That's funny because it looked like a Cosmonaut video thumbnail.
Oh, all right.
Oh, it look, you can imagine like Tabernacle using that and goes, the problem with superhero costumes is Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
the problem with
patriarchy.
superhero costumes is that they are ridiculous.
If you look at
Oh,
all
yeah,
these
his favorite
people,
word.
you clearly see they're white, which is ridiculous, and
I don't know why conservatives try to be heroes.
they're
It's just
clearly
ridiculous.
they're clearly
It's
capitalist,
ridiculous.
and that's silly
Witches.
because they don't
Which is,
understand
which is
monetary
ridiculous.
policy, like me.
I don't know why you white men have problems.
And they forgot that it was all about climate
Falcon
change.
and Buki. That's good.
Fucking bookie, yeah.
That's a very strange reference, but okay.
Coom.
Cool, out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, so here's a picture of the Supergirl actress.
Where is she?
Where?
Right there in stream memes. I just posted it.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, she looks nice. Why did they eat her up before they started filming the Supergirl
They
thing?
cut her hair.
I don't know. It's what's weird about it. Oh, and here's another picture.
I mean, she looks good, but I don't know.
No, Eric, no.
What is
I'm not in
this?
a joking mood.
Damn you, Eric.
Jesus. Anyway.
No, they deleted it again.
Anyway.
Matthias is too good. He will
Oh,
delete
he's probably
everything.
upset. He's upset with me now.
All right, here's Mike tested one more time. Just for kicks, get ready for WarioWare Smud memes. Well, not anymore because we're done. So, WarioWare?
Yeah.
WarioWare Smud. What the hell? Who the hell said anything about WarioWare? When was that?
Mike tested it.
Didn't you say that in the last stream?
I think
So we're
Wisp
talking
might
about
have.
war.
Wisp might have made a joke about that, but not me.
WarioWare,
Oh, yeah.
shove it up your ass game.
Oh God. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. That was only 2 hours. Pretty good. Nice, relaxing. Weird take. Very weird take on why superhero costumes are bad. Not even sure what the hell. What's wrong?
Bears just uploaded another meme.
We'll watch tomorrow. Don't worry. Thank you, guys. Keep the suggestions coming. We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy.